Hey guys, it's Alex. Let's play some Magic. So today's deck is brought to you by request from Brandon. He said he wanted to see more control. Specifically, he wanted to see Esper Control. So I took a shot at it. Like I said in my other videos, I'm not a deck builder. But this, I think this deck's all right. We've done pretty well with it so far on the ladder. I'm 6-1 and made it up to 296. Really stoked about that. We're going to push for... in the 100s. That's the goal for this stream. Let's get back to the deck. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the first question, and that is, Alex, your deck doesn't win the game. And the reality is, no, it doesn't. So this deck has two win conditions. The first one is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. But you may be saying, Alex, that's not a win condition. That draws cards. Well, that's all we need it to do. So our goal is to run a bunch of control spells and control the game and the board state to a position where we've got 7 cards in hand and our opponent has 0 cards in hand, 0 board, and he just can't win. We're going to play Teferi, or Teferi's already out. And then when we start to run out of cards, we're going to -3 and target Teferi and put him back in our library. And then that way we'll never be decked. And eventually our opponent will draw all of their cards and we've won. Hopefully they give up before then. But some people make you play it out and that's cool. And for the people that make you play it out, I'm running a single copy of Dawn of Hope. I know you're probably thinking, Chromium, you're an Esper and that card is sweet. Well, yeah, it's a great card, but there are no other creature cards in our deck. So say it's like turn 14. Our opponent has 4 cards in hand, and they're all creature removal. He's got 1 million lands because he's drawn 1 million cards, and we play Chromium, and it just eats all the removal that otherwise would have just set in his hand dead. So we don't want to turn on those removal cards, so we're not going to run any creatures. Dawn of Hope is hard for our opponent to interact with. They have to have like an Ixalan's Binding or there's enchantments are more difficult to deal with than creatures. It also has some life gain, which is great, and it also has some card draw. So it does a lot of things we want to do. I'd rather just not run it and just rely on Teferi and run, one more Chemister's Insight in this slot. But the reality of the latter is some people just will not concede until the you lost screen comes up. So that's okay. So we're going to run some copies of Search for Azcanta. That card needs no introduction. Moment of Craving, 4 might be a lot, but the reality is mono red's really good. And if you're not interacting with mono red before turn 3, you're probably dead. So this is cheap interaction, and it has some life gain, and it also kills a Danto Vanguard. So this card's got a lot going for it. I'd probably like to run 2 or 3 copies, but for now we're running 4. Thought Erasure, you can hit things that you have a hard time dealing with, like Carnage Tyrant, or opposing copies of Teferi, or whatever. Plus the Surveil is really valuable. So, and again, you need plays on turns 2 and 3 against mono red, or you just die. Speaking of mono red, we're running Absorb over Sinister Sabotage. I would prefer to have the Surveil effect over the gain 3 life, but the reality is we need to gain 3 life against red. So we're playing Absorb. It's a little harder to cast than Sinister Sabotage, but I haven't had a real big problem with it. Mortify is sweet. It's like cast down with upside, so, and less restrictive, sure. Chemister's Insight, we want to draw cards. That's how we win the game, is by having more resources than our opponent. This draws us a bunch of cards and allows us to pitch cards in the matchup that are dead, so I like it a lot. Vraska's Contempt, it is just good all-around removal. Having a way to deal with planeswalkers and creatures, and a Danto Vanguards and other things like that, plus the life gain. That's exactly where you want to be. Kaya's Wrath, it's a Wrath, and it's named Wrath. Cool. We don't care about the life gain because we don't really run creatures. Like, maybe we'll have a couple of Dawn of Hope tokens in play and we gain some life. It's completely incidental. Precog, you guys saw my video. I'm really high on this card. I like it a lot. like a lot, to the point that I had 3 copies of this in the first version of the list, but it was just too much. You need your draw spells at 4 because hitting the 4th land is easy, but hitting the 5th land without drawing cards can be a lot harder, even with 26 lands. Running a single copy of the Eldest Reborn. I like this card a lot. It's really good against Jeskai. It's good against Carney T. It does a lot of things. It's good against Niv Mizzet and against Control. If you fight over the Teferi, they try to cast and they're tapped out, and then you cast the Eldest Reborn with counter magic backup, you just win the game on the spot because you're going to kill one of their 4 Teferis, and then you just got a 5th Teferi, and they're discarding cards. It's everything you want. The mana base is a little shaky. We're going to switch over to this mode so you can see it a little better. I haven't ironed this out all the way. Earlier, I had less copies of less copies of Hallowed Fountain and a couple more swamps, because against red, like I said, if you're not doing something on turns 2 and 3, you're probably dying, and if you're paying 2 life to do something on turns 2 and 3, you're probably also dying. So you'll notice that I'm focused more on checks than on shocks. I do have a 4th copy of Hallowed Fountain, but I actually was only running 1, maybe 2 copies earlier, and I was running more basic swamps. We're trying this now. We'll see how things go. I think I prefer... you want to have 1 of each basic, just for things like... there's just a lot of effects that can destroy your lands. And so you want to be able to fetch up any basic you need. So 1 of each basic, I feel like, is a requirement. You could drop the plains and maybe run 2 swamps. I actually kind of like that. We have 4, 8, 11, 14 sources just to cast Wrath. We'll leave it be for now. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the deck. So that's that for now. And let's get some games started. And we're back. Sorry about that cut, guys, but I did not have the overlay up for the deck, so added that, and we're going to queue up in the ladder and see what we can do. Hopefully we dodge red. Number 13. Nice. He's really high ranked. I like this hand. I like it a lot. What is he playing that got him to 13th in the world? Exciting. Maybe he's on Esper. That makes our Moment of Craving and our Wrath obviously not very good, but that's okay. Yep, he's on Jeskai. I think we have a really good Jeskai matchup, so I feel good about this. Our hand is not good for the Control matchup, but do what you can. The question is he on Clarion Drake, or is he on... Alright, that sounds like an Ionize. We're going to play the blue source so we can represent Absorb and Sinister Sabotage. Cool. These lands are actually good to be drawing. Obviously I'd rather be drawing Absorb. Oh, he is missing land drops too, that's great for us. Alright. I'll let this resolve. Copies of Teferi, neat. Don't need that Moment of Craving. So we're just gonna keep playing lands. Hey, that's good. So now the goal is to Thought Erasure first. I don't think we're going to Absorb to make sure this Thought Erasure resolves. I changed my mind. Yeah, that worked out pretty well for us. That Teferi is gone. And we want to draw that. Sorry. He's gonna have 2 lands, so we're gonna get to tuck his Teferi. Unless that was a negate. If that was a negate, we're sad, but such is life. Now we have the mana to pay for Syncopate.
I am not going to sit this one out. I'm not ready for this quite yet.
Hopefully he doesn't run Shock. If he gets value out of Shock, that's less than ideal for us, but I think we're okay. Tracking Drake, cool. Kaya's Rat's that. He negates it, we'll just do it again. Let's draw the card first, because we might draw Mortify.
Hurry!
I'm actually going to save the Mortify for his Ixalan Binding or his search for Azcanta. So we're just going to rip this. Ooh. The only problem... Actually, we can cast Mortify if he has a negate for this. Very cool. Very legal. Alright, we're going to play the untapped land so we can play Chemister's Insight without shocking ourselves. Or I could have just waited for that trigger. Either way, doesn't really matter. We can play that Teferi. Imagine. I'm trying to decide if there's a reason for us to Chemister's Insight now. There's not.
I know my responsibility.
I want to Chemister Insight after he tucks our Teferi, which he did not do.
We need to move quickly.
Interesting. The problem with Jeskai is it doesn't deal with resolved planeswalkers as well as Esper does, because we've got Vraska's Contempt. Hey, Thought Eraser's neat. That's a pretty reasonable draw, so let's draw some cards, and then we're going to pick apart his hand to see if
keep up the pace.
See if we can clear the way for Vraska's Contempt, and then we should be set. We don't want to tap a white source really, so let's do blue. Actually, we don't care about that. We don't care about white sources. So I'm gonna grab the Syncopate. We can play around the Syncopate. This lets them draw less cards, so let's do that. Now we don't want that card. We can Syncopate for 3. So we'll do this. I kind of wanted to leave 2 blue up to bluff that I had. I mean, the fairy's going to untap and it's okay. Sure. Should have put a stop in there just so bluff removed the permission. But now I just get to Thought Erasure whatever he drew from that. That negate's gone. You want to draw another Mortify? Yeah, it's okay. I mean, what are we going to draw that's better? I think search for Azcanta would be better, obviously. But, yeah. I don't want to play into Syncopate. So we'll just wait till our turn.
Let's skip to the good part.
Ooh, that Absorb was a really good draw. I don't see how this guy wins now, and our rank's going to go up so high. I'm excited. He can Syncopate for 4, and he can see it. Yes! That's why I like playing Esper, is we 227? That's it? I went up like 10 ranks. He's ranked 12th in the world. Alright, this is going to be a long grind. Yeah, 227. This is going to be a long grind. So, wow. Cool. Like I said, this deck is really good against Jeskai. We just deal with their Teferi better than they do, and we have loads of creature removal for the Drakes and their Niv Mizzet, and we have the Eldest Reborn. We just have a lot of tools. This hand is fine-ish. Hopefully he's not red. If he's red, yep, we're dead. Oh, we're not dead. Look at that. Look at that. We're not dead. We're probably still dead, but we'll be okay. The question is, do we Moment of Craving or do we Thought Erasure? I don't know what the right answer is. I think we just Moment of Craving and we'll Thought Erasure the next turn to stop from getting hit from that. That seems better. We're gonna go ahead and Moment of Craving now to turn off his Wizard's Lightning. Hopefully he plays a creature now and then a creature on 4. Yeah, that's going to make it better. We have a much harder time against the burn decks and our burning creatures, which I think is a better deck anyways. So, we're going to play Godless Shrine. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to, so let's Thought Erasure. We're going to get rid of his Wizard's Lightning. I want him. We'll graveyard that, question mark. What do we need to be drawing? Absorbs and yeah, so we're gonna graveyard that. We'll play the Godless Shrine card. So we'll play this Drowned Catacomb. We'll have 2 blacks and 2 white sources. Hopefully he plays into Kaya's. That'll take us down to 14-12. And then we'll Kaya's Wrath. If he's smart, he'll hold up the Pyromancer. Which will be fine, because then we'll just Mortify it the turn after. But ideally, he just plays into the Wrath here, but I don't think he will. At the lower levels, people will just smork. But at the higher levels, people understand that this is an attrition match, and they will make better plays. Okay. That's good for us. Yeah, he thought about not playing into it, but you kind of have to against red, or against this. Like, you just kind of have to hope that you have a sweeper. So we're going to go down to 12, we're down to 10, plus whatever he draws. We're going to play Teferi, and let's hit some creature. Moment of Craving with a nice draw. So interesting. We can, I think we just play Teferi. I could Mortify that, but I'll start drawing cards.
I won't hide from the world any longer. No time for a break.
That's cool. It's not useful for anything. Oh well. At least we'll get to Surveil. So we're down to 8, plus what he has in hand that we don't know about. That's a really good draw. I think I just won us the game.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to Thought Erasure and then Absorb so we can shut down. Oh, no, I need a blue. 1 blue. So we have a blue here. That's fine. We get to gain some life off Absorb. We'll let that resolve. That one will counter. Don't need another land. And with the untap, we'll get to let's go on full control. Make sure we get our land. So I don't see how we lose now. We're at 13 life. We've got a draw spell. We've got a Mortify to answer his Experimental Frenzy.
Don't make another move.
All right, let's draw a card and see if I saw draw a different answer other than Mortify for the Chain Whirler. I don't need all these Teferis. I'm gonna pitch one of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want to use this Mortify in case he has Experimental Frenzy. So we're gonna try to find an answer that's not Mortify. And we found it, so we're gonna save the Mortify to stop in the end step. Alright, we're up to 15 now. So with this Mortify, we can't lose. Well, at least we have a very hard time losing. Man, he's throwing a lot of gas, too. 4 lands to 9 cards. Yeah, and so he just concedes. 176, we're in the 100s. We did it. Cool. That's weird that I gained way more ranks there, and that guy was in the 300s. Then I gained against the guy that was in the 12s. Hey, let's see what's in the pack. And we get a wild card. Neat. Aw, that's my 4th copy of that. That's okay. I do like the duplicate protection. It makes it feel a lot better. Open dupes. Oh, we're at 176. Back on the ladder. Try again. So I think that makes us 8-1 with this deck on the ladder. Really, really happy with it. You see why I play the Moment of Cravings there. They were insanely good against red. I would prefer to run a 3rd copy of Mortify, but it's a lot more versatile, but we just have to beat red. This guy's 164. Oof. Not happy about it, but I think we're going to keep it because we've got a Surveil here. I probably shouldn't keep this, but if he's on red, we've got all the answers, so we're going to keep it and hope he's red and hope he's not control. Mono green. Okay. We're gonna Thought Erasure to find the land instead of Moment Craving. What are we scared of? He's short on land, so we're gonna take his Jade Light Ranger and we're gonna leave that land on top. We've got the Absorb next turn for the question is, do we want a Moment of Craving or do we just want to absorb that Vraska? I think we want a Moment of Craving here. There's nothing he's doing at 3 mana that's super scary for us. Really want to see a license. Ooh, so good at this game. He's missing land drops, which is good for us. We've got the Wrath for so good at this game. And there's a Teferi. That's cool.
Let's slow. Keep up the pace.
And we get to keep Absorb up. Like, this could not go any better for us. I might should have waited until I had 1 more land. The thing is, he'd have to top deck a Swamp. Do we let that resolve? Yes. Or do we want to keep him from... I'm actually thinking of absorbing this. But we want to absorb his Vraska. Yeah, we'll let this resolve.
Hold that thought.
Hand seems good. I like that we have a second Wrath, so that way we can choose to Wrath the board and not have to worry about Carnage Tyrant. I mean, he's going to Memorial to Folly it, but that's okay. Yeah, I don't think he had a chance to win there either. 146, we are still climbing. All right, let's see what our runtime is at. We are at 18 minutes, so we're going to keep playing. For a deck with no win condition, we're winning pretty fast at this level on the ladder. Lower levels, like, you know, gold, silver, even plat, you'll have a harder time. But at this point, like, the players are good and they know what's up, so they just concede. Like, yep, I'm not winning this. Why waste both of our time? Curbler. Is this Kibler's secret account? Oh, definitely not keeping this. Oh, definitely not keeping this. Well, I don't think we're going to win this one, guys. Going to 5 sucks. Man. We're in 26 lands, so to see one land in back-to-back hands, especially with the Shuffler, is really weird. We don't need another one of those. I don't think we can win this one, but... Oh, not that one. This one. Because our deck... you know, lives and dies off of... Interesting, what are we playing? Our deck lives and dies off card advantage, so... Interesting. Which of these are troublesome for us? I guess this is the most troublesome card. This helps them find lands, but yeah, we're just gonna go with that. And yeah, that way we get to cast the Wrath. So we got 2 white sources. Excellent. And we have a Vraska's Contempt. Maybe we get lucky. I think it depends on how hard he commits to the board. Okay, let's do one now. Oh, sweet. This deck is awesome. That was a really good draw. We're going to see if he can commit to the board a little more. He's actually going to have a hard time committing to the board more because he doesn't have enough green sources. He needs a Merfolk Branchwalker to find a land. Interesting. Is he just not going to cast Merfolk, or does he just not care about the extra damage? Sure. Thinking, do I just Vraska that instead of Kai's Wrath? No, we're gonna Kai's Wrath because these things get so big. No green source. Okay, so you got his other green source. Hopefully he commits to the board with 2 creatures here. Yeah, he's got 3 green sources, so he might. I have better than should we? Yeah, he's gonna play that next turn. Okay. Deck is sweet. I'm enjoying what he's doing. He can't deal with those 3-for-1s though. Even with Militia doing his thing. We get a 2-for-1 off that, which is good for him. We're at 3. I'm feeling okay. Ooh, sacrifice. Oh yeah, this is that Bant Pod deck. Yeah, we want that. Let's just main phase it in case we get a land. Yeah, that's fine. So he didn't leave any blue up, so that's good for us. I think that's fine to draw. Hopefully he plays something we can get with this Moment of Craving. Yeah, that's nice. That's a cool target for pod, or for Prime Speaker, not pod. Because that effect is powerful. It's not very good at 4 mana, but when you get to do it for free off the pod, it's pretty sweet. Do I care about gaining a life? Nope. I want to transform that more than anything. We want to discard this land? I think we want to discard this land. We're just going to pass. Wait for him to commit 1 more creature to the board, and then we'll Kaya's Wrath. Might even wait for 2 more creatures, because these are pretty wimpy. Do I want to let that resolve and then Kaya's Wrath? I think I do. What's that like we don't have an answer? Ooh. Do we want Donna Hope or do we want Vraska's Contempt? This will help us draw cards. This answers things. We're gonna grab Donna Hope. I'll let that resolve. See if he plays another creature. Hopefully he does. So we've got Kaya's Wrath with Absorb backup, which is nice. Interesting to me. Yeah, this is game. We're gonna leave Absorb up. So we could have searched. Yeah, we were going to search there. 118. We're almost there. Oh man. Well, I think that's enough games for one evening. Really happy with how the deck played out. Obviously, I mean we're at the highest levels right now, top 100 in the world almost, and we're winning easily. Even when we multi 5 that one time. Here's another copy of the deck. Really happy with it. We're going to play a little more a little later, but I'm just going to let good be good enough for now. Thanks for watching, guys.